Jim's snowed in, or he's on his way back from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I think Renee's gonna come up and take notes. We've got Ron's coming around 10, and besides that, we have Lisa Bethune at 10:30. She's gonna talk about our contract with Magellan, and that's it.
Should be short.
We talked a little bit about our supervisors meeting. We can I'll talk about that a little bit. Had a pretty informative one at Des Moines this time. So. Not good news, but just good information.
Yeah, Marcia Turnus talked to us about what's going on with trying to reorganize the courts and the furlough days and the budget. She's very knowledgeable, and one thing that would relate is she doesn't think it makes any sense closing down more clerk of court offices and forcing people, say, to drive Carroll or Storm Lake. It's better to move the judge to the people because of the cost involved with transport and something.
One of the other things, she had a PowerPoint it was a good informational PowerPoint in that she showed the history of the staffing that they had. And they took a significant hit in 2002 because of all the budget problems in 2002. Well, then they didn't recover from that, where most of the departments did, and they didn't. And then now they've been hit twice again. And but she did give a really good firm comment in that it was not and wasn't going to be their intent to close clerk of court offices. That for the reason that Dean had said that they were, which I talked with her a little bit afterwards, and that was I thanked her for her position on that, because it was very important to us that we didn't want to have to guard and transport these folks, because it would then just come back as an expense to the sheriff's department, and our only ability to fund the sheriff's department is property taxes. And the state has general fund, which has revenue from multiple areas of taxation. So if they were to do that, that would just be a passive expense to us. And she understood that.
What time did she talk to you yesterday morning?
No, it was last week. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday. Last Thursday.
That may have...
The director of public health spoke to the group, kind of an overview about what's going on in that department as far as reorganization. The talk was mentioned, and there's those that feel like we could go to a district system rather than a county by county. He talked about the budget and early retirement within that office, and things that they'll have money for and what they won't have money for.
One, we get a significant amount of money that's pass-through money that helps us with our nurses and our home health care aides. That's a significant thing that Iowa Department of Public Health does. And he made a commitment to say that would be one of the last points of reduction, that they understand how important it is that we have that service out here, because it helps keep people out of the nursing home, and it's way less expensive for everyone.
We haven't opened the meeting now. We're just talking about ISAC.
Pay for that rather than nursing home care. Then the other third big one was the Charlie Krogmeyer, who's the head of DHS, and his comments were pretty general. I guess I didn't, sitting there listening, I didn't really hear any specifics about how they were handling any type of reduction that's coming. And would you agree with that?
Well, yeah, Rick, you've seen him before, and as for Jack and I, it was our first, but I don't know if there's any, they have any specifics yet. It's,
Just a little bit about the MHIs,
yeah, that was
what they were going to close and what they weren't going to close. No decision. I mean, that's been on the discussion table for a long time. The recommendation of the task force was that you didn't close any, but I don't think that's going to happen, and the legislature is going to close. And he talked a little bit about the importance of Cherokee in the regional, so I really don't believe Cherokee is going to be the one that gets closed.
yeah, and the CUSO units in Cherokee, that complicates it a little bit. But, I heard that he was on the staff of the governor and took over this job, and, he's pretty good at, he knew, he's learned a lot about how the system works, but as far as details, the fellow under him that you talked about,
Bill Gard.
yeah, he might be the person for that. But there was, Senator Gronstall was there, and Senator Kibbe, Speaker of the House, Murphy, I'm trying to think the two Republicans.
I can't think the gal from Southwest Iowa, and
Yeah,
then there
she
was
was
a young
the,
man
she the treasurer, the recorder of Clark County.
in her previous.
She's a senator. She seemed pretty sharp. She's got, tell you how rural that part of the country is. She's got 7 counties.
In that sense.
Kettering's got 2. 30,000 or 25,000 in Carroll, 15, 20 in BV, and 10 in Sac. So, but she seemed pretty sharp. You think of anything else, Jack? Or?
Not right off the top of my head, you guys pretty well covered it. But I remember her saying too that on some days, she'd have up to 10 different parades or meeting, town deals that were going on in the 7 counties.
You could, your experience comes from the patrol. You can talk about that a little bit about their funding.
So they said the funding will remain the same evidently on general, rather than taking anything away from transportation, so.
We heard that time after time that they weren't contemplating taking that out of the general fund and to be used out of road use tax funds. They were not going to consider that.
But our lobbyist warned that it's not over to the big guys' things.
Wait, you're saying that they're not contemplating taking it out?
That's what they're telling us. That, yeah, I guess that can change at the last minute, but they were really saying that was not going to be an option.